Welcome again to an action-packed hour of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. In the next hour, you'll be seeing the Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin action, Mr. Olympia, and a host of others. Interesting personality profile today with Ray Candy and some junior heavyweights. We will be talking with Bob Armstrong about the tragic injury of Brad Armstrong in Mobile, Alabama, and we'll also be viewing the videotape of that terrible incident. And
wait just a minute, Charlie Platt. Before you go any further, I want to issue a challenge right here today on TV. One, Mr. Ken Lucas. Every time I look around, every time I get into the ring, anything that ever happens, Ken Lucas comes running down there with chairs. He comes running down there with chains, brass nuts, anything that he can get his hands on trying to get a hold of me, the big outlaw. Well, I tell you what, Ken Lucas, I am tired of you chasing me. I'm tired of you interfering in my matches. If you got any guts at all, son, if you got any in that body of yours, you're going to sign your name to get right there on TV today, Charlie Platt. That is a challenge right now.
Matches have already been set.
I don't care if you've got matches already booked. I don't care if they're signed. If Ken Lucas has got 1 ounce of man in him, he'll get his little butt out there in the ring today, Charlie Platt. I don't care if Ken Lucas, if you can hear me back there, it's been challenged to you, my friend, and let's see how big a man you are.
We'll see what we can do about that situation. Ron Bass issuing a challenge for television today with Ken Lucas. And, of course, our television matches, we have them all scheduled, and I don't know about this particular situation in the challenge. We're about ready for our first event to get under the way. Let's go into the ring. Your attention, please. Our first match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee, Bruce Fortson. Bruce Fortson, your referee. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 220 pounds, from Tampa, Florida, Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright. His opponent at 219 pounds, from Millport, Alabama, Barry Cummings. Barry Cummings. Barry Cummings taking on Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright making quite a reputation for himself across the country. A newcomer to the area in the junior heavyweight category. And we're about ready for action. Collar and elbow, center of the ring from behind with a pinning combination. Tommy Wright going in on Barry Cummings. Wright maneuvering himself around, another takedown. Newcomer Tommy Wright and Barry Cummings to the Southeastern Wrestling area. Arm twist, he's holding on. Snapmare takedown by Tommy Wright. Bars that left arm. Barry Cummings. Good scientific match thus far on the part of Tommy Wright and Barry Cummings. Wright making quite a name for himself, as we said earlier, in the junior heavyweight category around the country. And thus far, it appears, Al, that Tommy Wright has quite a knowledge of wrestling. Some good moves so far.
He does indeed, Charlie. As we watch, we can pick up a lot of things we see in the more experienced wrestlers. For instance, going for that left arm again, grabbing it after the body slam, continuing to work on the left arm, which you'll see the more experienced wrestlers going more and more now to a vantage point. Once they have found something they can get a hold of and really work on, they stay with it rather than going all over. They just set their sights evidently on one thing to hopefully slow down their opponent. And Tommy Wright is trying to do this now by working on the left arm of Barry Cummings from Millport, Alabama.
Takes his man in. Good shoulder smash by Wright coming off of those ropes.
Still a rather scientific fight by both wrestlers here. They have the idea, Charlie, they're kind of feeling each other out.
Collar and elbow. Beautiful, beautiful executed
Tommy Wright, and there again, Al, he picks up that left arm.
He's got it barred, and he's going to bend it a little bit now. Now he's going for the hammerlock and bends that wrist back. The circulation stops almost immediately on that part, and it's up to Barry Cummings to try to get out of there. Here comes a couple of fists now to the midsection of Tommy Wright. Cummings gets him off the rope, comes down with a flying elbow, it looked like, to the side of the head of Barry Cummings and floored Cummings. There's a hard smash by Tommy Wright. Another one. This time he whips Cummings off the rope. Cummings comes off, catches him into the midsection. Tommy Wright with a knee lift. A good, solid knee lift by Tommy Wright as he decides to come on strong here. Getting him up. Too close to the rope for what he was going to do that time, as Cummings was fortunate on that one. So he's going to try it again. Goes up high. An airplane spin, Charlie Platt. When's the last time we saw one of those?
A lot of weight coming down hard. He's got the pin. And a win for junior heavyweight Tommy.
Boss out here. I'll wrestle that man anytime, any place, anywhere, and I'd like to have a match right on TV with him right today. That's what I want to do.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Right on this TV right now, man.
Thank you, Ken. Ken coming out accepting that challenge. We'll see if we can replace a match and maybe have Ken Lucas and Ron Bass. Challenge made and accepted. Welcome back, Bob. We have a lot to discuss today, and it's with regret that I have you out for this particular matter, because the 1981 Rookie of the Year, Bob Armstrong's son Brad, was injured in Mobile, Alabama at the hands of Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey, and some outside interference by a gentleman by the name of Tommy Weathers, the referee.
Exactly right. It is a sad occasion, and you know, it was a night they came to film the special matches. Brad earlier in the night won the U.S. Junior title from Stan Lane, and later on that night he had another challenge for a handcuff match. We were guaranteed there'd be no outside interference from any other wrestler, and there wasn't. But that doggone referee, that weasel, Tommy Weathers, that referee pulled the biggest double cross I've ever seen in my life, turned Rose loose, and I had to watch him annihilate Brad handcuffed.
I tell you what, Bob, let's get into this situation. Before the injury, Brad did wrestle Stan Lane for the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship. Brad winning that title. Let's go into Expo Hall in Mobile and pick up the action with Brad Armstrong against Stan Lane for the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Right, as I said, Charlie, this is earlier in the evening, and Brad was feeling real good, and he thought he really had a chance to beat Stan Lane, and consequently he did beat Stan Lane. This was a sellout crowd in Mobile, and they had some special matches there, and the film crew was there filming on location. And you can see Brad and Stan Lane were having a real good match here. They were up and down. These two guys were very evenly matched. Brad made a good move on him here, rolled him right up, and right there you can see the 3 count came down just before the kick out, and it's very controversial, but Brad did win the U.S. Junior Heavyweight title. Now, later on that night, you know what happened. You were there, and I'd really rather not talk about it. If you want to show the film, go ahead.
We have the U.S. Junior Heavyweight title with us now that has been vacated by Brad Armstrong because, Bob, according to the physicians in Mobile, that it will be at least a month.
Brad will be out 3 weeks to a month. He won the title in one night and had to give it up in the same night. It's a very sad occasion.
Let's go into this handcuff situation. Here you see Brad Armstrong with Condrey down, and here is the double cross.
All right, here goes. Brad's looking real good against Condrey. Brad had been opened up and slashed severely, and here goes Tommy Weathers to turn Randy Rose loose. I don't know why, how the heck it happened. I'm just watching in amazement. Brad fought a heck of a fight. He was opened up and bleeding, and he kept fighting. The referee opened up Rose's handcuffs. I don't know why in the devil he did. He came, I thought he was going to unloose my handcuffs. He's just standing there teasing me. He's got the thing in front of me teasing me. I'm trying to reach and get the key. I'm having to watch that referee with that key in my face and watch him annihilate my boy at the same time. You think that don't tear your guts out? Try it sometime. Look at that referee. I tried to kick his face out if I could have just grabbed him. He's teasing me with that key. Now watch, this is what really chipped the verter in Brad's neck right here. He came off the top. I'm having to watch all this, trying to tear my wrist out, and can't do a darn thing about it. Tommy Weathers, the weasel. And after all that, had guts enough to count him out.
Later on, we made it into the dressing room now. They are attending to Brad Armstrong. Bob, just Just a minute. What's brought all this on?
I don't know. I just know Brad's hurt real bad. Condrey and Rose tried to hurt him bad, and that referee, Tommy Weathers, it's the biggest double cross I've ever seen in wrestling. They've hurt him bad, and Tommy Weathers, that referee, causes all. Tommy Weathers. I don't know why he did it. Who the hell knows why he did it? Here comes the paramedic. Excuse me.
We're down in the dressing room with Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. And gentlemen, I must say, one of the most disgusting things in the history of pro wrestling has just taken place here. I don't think
Charlie Blair, we don't care. We don't want to hear it, baby. The rookie took his chances. He wanted Dennis Condrey in a single match. Brother, he got it, but I guarantee you one thing. He won't want no more matches with us, will he?
It's not your right to be saying, Charlie Platt, what's disgusting and what's not. He took his chances, and Bob Armstrong, you had your chance too. So you're not the one to say that we're disgusting.
I want to know something about the situation. What about the interference? What do you know about the situation with Tommy Weathers?
About Tommy Weathers. We don't know nothing about that, Charlie Platt. I imagine that he don't like Bob Armstrong just as much as we don't.
He hates him,
and everybody else don't
It
either.
appeared he deliberately had a part in this whole
It
situation.
may have appeared that way, but what you've seen, you may not have seen.
I think I have seen all that I would.
I love it.
Randy Rose and
We
Dennis
said all we want to
Condrey
say
and,
to you.
a series of events taking place in
Well,
Mobile.
Charlie, you heard them say right there, excuse me, if they don't know anything about Tommy Weathers, don't tell me that they didn't pay off Tommy Weathers to come unlock those. Don't tell me. Now, Tommy Weathers has disappeared. Nobody knows where Tommy Weathers is at. Since that happened, he's gone. But I'm going to tell you, if it takes every private detective in the United States, I'm going to find you, Tommy Weathers. I don't care where you've gone. There ain't no place you can hide. I'm going to find you, Tommy Weathers, because there's three people in this world right now that I despise. And that's Condrey, Rose, and Weathers. Now, they won't take me in a single match. They said no single matches, tag team. They know my partner, Brad, is down. My son, I had to watch it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I got some people lined up. I'm going to get to you some way, somehow, boy. And when I do, I'm going to run my fist down your throat. I'm going to pull your entrails out, and you going to spit teeth. And for every drop of blood my son shed, boy, you going to shed twice as much. All three of you boys are going down. 1, 2, 3. I don't care what it takes or where it is. They're going to get it.
And I rate Bob Armstrong, and rightfully so. Tommy Weathers has not been heard from since the incident in Mobile, Alabama. Not only is Bob Armstrong looking for the man, also Southeastern Wrestling International Sports Incorporated and the National Wrestling Alliance, who have pulled his license to referee anywhere in this area. Tommy Weathers now suspended by International Sports Incorporated and the National Wrestling Alliance. Also, after that situation, Brad Armstrong was rushed to Providence Hospital in Mobile, Alabama, where they took some 15 stitches to sew up that gash in his head, 5 inside, 10 on the outside, and with x-rays, a chip in the vertebrae in his neck was found. And there you hear the report from Bob Armstrong on the situation, at least 3 to 4 weeks out of action. We'll return with more of Southeastern Championship Wrestling in just a moment.
Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday night, July 13th. A special $15,000 bounty match. Ron Fuller takes on the Assassin, managed by Jimmy Golden. Southeastern title, Mr. Olympia takes on Jimmy Golden. Southeastern tag title match. Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose go against Bob Armstrong and Wildfire Tommy Rich. And a special bull rope match. Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas. Alabama title, Ray Candy goes against Norvell Austin. Plus a special event, Tommy Wright takes on Mr. Junior America. That's wrestling returning to Valpole Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday, July 13th, 8:30 p.m.
No wrestling this weekend in Birmingham, however, the All-Star card returning on Monday night, June 13th to July 13th, that is, to Valpole Auditorium at 8:30. And on that card, the Southeastern Tag Team Championships of Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey will go on the line against Bob Armstrong and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Let's hear the comments of the champions.
You're drawing for straws, ain't you there, Bob Armstrong? You can't seem to find a partner nowhere. You got to get them from out of state, out of country. You're bringing in names like Tommy, Wildfire Rich, Dusty Rhodes. We don't care. Mario Galento. Bring anybody you want to, baby. But just remember one thing. We got a little piece of film that we can show them, and I guarantee you, after we show them that little piece of film where we beat your punk son almost to death, they might not show up.
First, cuz, he better take his partners, whoever he gets. Tommy Rich, it don't matter. Take him on down out to the hospital and let him visit your son that's in traction down there.
Must have.
I'm sure it's hard for you to sit and listen to those type comments.
Charlie, there's three people in this world today that I despise, that I hate from the bottom of my heart, and that's Condrey Rose and that weasel Tommy Weathers. When I look at my son laying there with a stitched-up head and the neck, I think about those three, and I don't care who it takes. Tommy Wildfire Rich was glad to come and be my partner. They say no single matches, so I'm going to get whoever and whenever I can get them, and I'm going to get you boys. And in Birmingham, when the Wildfire gets you, you're going to find out two things. First, you're going to find out why they call me the Georgia Jawjacker, because I fully intend to jack your jaw. And second, you're going to find out why they call Tommy Rich Wildfire, because he's going to burn your butts but good in Birmingham. So bring yourselves on, boy. It's gone past wrestling. Don't be expecting to wrestle, because I'm going to get you down, and I'm going to put this fist about 2 feet down your throat, boy. And the next time people see you up here talking in this camera, you're going to be talking through gums where teeth used to be. No brag, just fact. I'll see you in Birmingham.
A lot of things to be settled, and a lot of things will be settled on Monday night, July 13th, when wrestling returns to Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama. Part of that all-star card, Condrey and Rose defending the Southeastern titles against Bob Armstrong and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Exciting action taking place throughout the arenas here in the Southeastern wrestling area. Briefly, we'd like to run down some of the action. There will be no wrestling this week in Montgomery, Alabama. Wrestling returns on Wednesday night, July 15th to the Civic Center. No wrestling this week in Birmingham, but all-star card returns to Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday night, July 13th. There will be wrestling tomorrow night in Gulf Breeze, Florida, the high school gymnasium at 8:15, and a special card of professional wrestling this week in Pensacola. This week's matches in Pensacola on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, Pensacola's Municipal Auditorium. Also like to remind the fans in the Haneyville area that there will be wrestling on Thursday night, the Central High School Gymnasium there, and on Friday night, a big pole battle royal main event this Friday night, Florella, Alabama, the high school gymnasium. A rundown of some of the action taking place here in the Southeastern wrestling area, and on any given night you see Ron Fuller in the ring, you'll see this man with his bounty. That bounty situation continues.
That's exactly right, Charlie Platt, and on any given night, you just never know when it might happen. But my man right here, the dog, Austin, is the man I should have known all the time was the one to collect that $15,000, because you know he's liable to headbutt that Ron Fuller's head right off his shoulders tomorrow night in Gulf Breeze, in Pensacola Wednesday night, or in Haneyville. It don't matter where we're at, sonny boy. Just give us the chance. Just get old long legs in there.
That's right. Just wherever I see you, Ron Fuller, you get ready to meet this hard head on the dog. And a good town to start with is Gulf Breeze. And I'm going to follow you. If I don't get you in Gulf Breeze, I'm going to follow you every town in this territory to Florella, where they got that big old pole up there. It's a lot of money at stake. I've been out a long time, and I'm coming back after the top dollar.
Comments of Norville Austin and his manager, Jimmy Golden.
Our next match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left at 235 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Olympia. His opponent at 192 pounds from Birmingham, Alabama, Mike Jackson.
Earlier today, we had a challenge by Ron Bass. It was accepted by Ken Lucas, and contracts have been signed on both parts. So our television main event today will be Ken Lucas against Ron Bass. Change in the card. The challenge was accepted, so Ken Lucas takes on Ron Bass in our television main event. Also, I'd like to remind you, next week here on Southeastern Wrestling, we'll have one half of the world-renowned tag combination, the Assassin, will be with us here next week on television. And coming out to join us for the commentary on this match, a gentleman I always enjoy welcoming here to the Southeastern Wrestling area. Quite a legend. That's Mario Galinto. Welcome back.
Well, it's really nice to be back, but I've seen the film the way these two guys did Brad Armstrong, and that's one of the reasons that I am back. So I've got a son myself, and I'm telling you, if it would happen to my son, I'd appreciate Bob hipping me just like I'm going to hip him.
One of the most disgusting situations I've ever seen in the sport.
Well, anytime you see a guy jumping and hollering and screaming like they are, they're in doubts about whether they can beat a man or not. So I always told them, the ones that I can beat knows it, and the ones that I can't don't know it yet. They haven't tried it.
In the ring right now, Mario, we have Mr. Olympia.
He's come a long way, sir, hasn't he? He really has. A great athlete.
He former U.S. junior heavyweight champion. He's put on about 14 pounds now, and he's up in that heavyweight category.
He has to put that weight on. You know, he sure does. But there's one thing about it. He's got in the right places. This guy's fantastic. He's a really good wrestler. Yeah.
Mike Jackson giving up quite a bit of weight, but Jackson lightning fast in that ring, Mario. He's a super little athlete, and what he lacks in size, the speed picks up for it.
Yes, that's correct. I just heard a little thing that the two boys had said. Of course, I've been here with Bob Armstrong, and these people knows what I'll do and what I'm going to do. They mentioned something about the old man. The thing I'd like to say is this. There's been many a good man deprived of the privilege of getting as old as I am, and I think this is two of them right here.
Comments of Mario Galento. And we have near pin, 2 count.
I feel the same way by Bob's boy as I would my own boy.
Brad Armstrong, certainly, Mario, you got to take in consideration only a year in professional wrestling for him to hold for 2 times the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship, 3 times actually, and then win the NWA Rookie of the Year. That's quite an accomplishment for a young man.
Well, these guys are using their brain. They're a little smart, but they slip up every once in a while. See, they'd like to cripple this kid right now, because when he gets seasoned a little bit more, he can beat either one of them and tear his head off. So they want to cripple him up real bad so he won't be there whenever the time comes, see?
Good takedown by Mr. Olympia. Head scissors by Mike Jackson. We got a great match in the ring right now.
This is a great match. It sure is. Mr. Olympia, if you'll notice here, the pounds he took on strictly wasn't in the waistline. It's in the arms, shoulders, and legs. I think he's going to go a long ways, and I tell you, he's a great wrestler.
He stays in the gym about 5 days a week, Mario. And
yeah, well, that's the only way to stay in top shape.
That's the only way.
Exactly the reason that I do and how I do it. I work out 3 hours a day, whether I'm wrestling or not. I stay ready for all things at any time, anywhere. But the more I think about this match, it's made me awful mad. But I'm going to try to cool myself down, you know, and just do it kind of gentleman-like. You know, exactly. Every time I break a leg, I'm going to tell him I'm very sorry, something like that.
Good takedown by Mike Jackson, but there you see Olympia going right to those head scissors, cutting him off.
Man, he's got a pair of legs, I'm telling you. He can pull his head off there with it.
You've been around professional wrestling a number of years, Mario, a legend. And what do you think about the competition you see this day and time here?
Well, they've got some great competition here. They sure have. I haven't seen anything here that wasn't seen to me like in, you know, superb condition. But anyway, as I say, I've been in the business a long time. And one thing I didn't do, I did not quit working out. So I'm in better condition than I was when they claimed I'd retired out, which I haven't. I still wrestle around over the country, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and what have you. I was down in Puerto Rico and back. But anyway, one of the biggest surprises, I tell you, underestimating your opponent's the worst thing you can do. And I think that's what these guys have really done. It's either that or they're kind of excited over the thing. They've probably been talking to some of the fans here of what I've done here and how I've done it. You know, when I wrestle, somebody bleeds. It may be me. I ain't saying it's not. But anyway, it's going to be one of those things out of hand tonight. I I believe somebody told me this was no time limit. Wasn't that right?
Exactly right.
Oh, that's great. No time limit. I know that I'm good for 3 hours, and you better hope that he is, because I know Bob is too.
Coming to Mario Galento in the ring, it's Mr. Olympia and Mike Jackson. Jackson using that elbow, trying to work his way out. Olympia going over his man, catches Olympia, though. Jackson with that drop kick. Good move. And a good takedown. Mike Jackson holding his own.
The guy's moving great. He's a great wrestler. I've never met him, but the guy's, he's really a wrestler. I can tell by watching.
Holding onto that side headlock on Mr. Olympia. This is...
Well, the headlock that he's got now can be converted into a sleeper hold if you just hold it long enough there. Cutting the artery blood off there, it can sure be.
He's got it hooked in the right position. Now Olympia throwing his man off, countering off the ropes. Drops down in front of Jackson and high. Nice body drop. But Jackson comes right back, pushes his man off, and arm drag takedown. And out of all that, Mario, there we have a side headlock by Olympia.
Very good. The Olympia's coming right on. Well, after you get to be the champion, there's only one thing to do. That's stay champion. The only thing you can do now is, if he goes, he's down. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he'll be the champion for a long, long time.
Side headlock by Mike Jackson. Coming in and was coming off with a body press. Olympia pushed his man up. There's that power slam he's known for. And that's the pin.
Fantastic. He's in great condition.
Great match. Thank you for the commentary, Mario Galento. Your winner of the match from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Olympia. And coming up, our personality profile, our television main event, Ken Lucas against Ron Bass. Stay with us.
Every second of every...
And today we'll be discussing two particular titles, the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship and the Alabama title now held by Ray Candy. Before we talk to Ray, with me now two premier junior heavyweights in the area, Mike Jackson and Tommy Wright. And their situation will be surrounding the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship, which you see on the table. That belt forcefully surrendered by Brad Armstrong because of the injury at the hands of Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey, and Tommy Weathers. Brad will be out of action, according to doctors, at least 3 to 4 weeks, and the National Wrestling Alliance has ordered that a new champion must be decided in this situation because he will be out of action for such a long period of time. Upcoming, we have a one-night tournament for that U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship. Two of the participants, Tommy Wright and Mike Jackson. And first of all, Tommy, some of your thoughts on this U.S. Junior Heavyweight competition now.
Well, I was very sorry to hear that Brad Armstrong got hurt because I know his ability of a wrestler, and it's just one of those things, but I immediately put my application in for this junior belt, and I think I'm more than qualified to win that title.
Mike, you've been in action quite a bit throughout the Southeastern wrestling area. You're known for your speed in the ring, and what is it going to take in a one-night tournament to win that U.S. Junior title?
Well, Charlie, you know as well as I do, you've been around wrestling a long time. In these one-night tournaments, you may wrestle 2 times, you may wrestle 4 times, you may wrestle 5 times. It just depends on how you go through the brackets, you know. But, you know, I feel like Tommy, Brad Armstrong's a good friend of mine, and, you know, I know the likes of Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose are tough competition. And, you know, Brad was even wrestling out of his own weight class to wrestle these guys, and that's the kind of caliber men they are. But I know Brad would want the tournament to go on. I'm sorry he had to vacate the title that way, but I know Brad, the kind of person he is, he would want that title to be up in a tournament so that somebody else could own that title and wrestle for that title as time goes on. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being in this area again. And like you said, I'm not big, I'm not strong. I realized that a long time ago, and I depend a lot on my speed, and that's how I plan to win this tournament.
Mike Jackson and Tommy Wright, two junior heavyweights, and that U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship up in the air now for a one-night tournament to determine a new champion. I'd like to talk a moment to Ray the Candyman Candy, the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion. And Ray, you successfully defeated Jimmy Golden for that title, and since you're winning the title, all we've heard is a scream for a rematch by Jimmy Golden.
Well, let me say this here. You know, first thing that went through Jimmy Golden's mind, well, I won't be able to get a return title match with him because he's chicken.
But let me say one thing to Jimmy Golden. I said that you could have a title match with one stipulation, that you put $300 up, so if you lose, I can buy a whole lot of candy for my kids. As you can see in my hand here, I have about 25 cents worth. $300 can buy a whole truckload worth. So when I go into Jimmy Golden, if he accepts this, that's a whole lot of candy I can buy for my kids. But that's the only way he'll get a title shot. $300, Golden. You always like putting money up. Now put this $300 up.
Interesting stipulation to a match. $300 worth of candy
a lot
for
of candy down.
A chance at the Alabama State Heavyweight Championship. Let's get the comments out of Jimmy Golden.
You know something, I'm always involved in some kind of money deal, and this is the most craziest, outrageous thing I ever heard of, Ray Candy. And the only reason I'm accepting it is because I know that I can beat your fat butt, because that title belongs to me. You too fat and out of shape from eating all that candy anyway. And you ain't going to take no money of mine, no $300, and go running around and give it to all them little snotty-nosed brat punks that's in the way anyway out there. You planning on taking that money and going buying that candy and eating it all yourself. You ain't going to give it to no kids. I'm going to win the title. I'm going to keep my money and buy me some good old Tennessee drinking whiskey with it, and I'm going to have a big party and sport that title around like a good champion ought to.
Well, Jimmy Golden, he has a lot of confidence in himself. You know, and each time you go in the ring, you learn something. And Jimmy Golden, this is one time Ray Candy can say he learned something from you. He learned how to be dirty, tricky, and right down mean. You know what I mean? I can pull out those tricky tricks out of my bag where you held on to this title. That's the same thing I'm going to do. Pull out my tricks. Keep this title for me and the people.
Ray Candy in the special stipulation surrounding the Alabama State Heavyweight Championship belt, now held by Ray Candy, and in pursuit of that title, Jimmy Golden. Thank you, two gentlemen, for joining us with comments on this U.S. junior heavyweight situation here in the Southeastern area, and that's our personality profile for today.
Our next match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 220 pounds from Pensacola, Florida, Mike Norris. Mike Norris. His opponent at 225 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Norvell Austin. Norvell Austin.
The Junkyard Dog, accompanied by Jimmy Golden, Norvell Austin, and since we've seen Norvell coming back to the Southeastern area, joining forces with Golden, looking at the situation, the Junkyard Dog has been working out. He appears ready for action. I mean, he is fired up. Good shoulder smash takedown. Austin going across his man. Good takedown from Mike Norris, and there you see Norvell Austin maybe a bit overconfident going into this match. Al maybe underestimating Mike Norris, but nevertheless, watching Norvell not only here on in the arenas for the last week or so, he appears fired up, he appears in good shape and ready for action. High back body drop by Mike Norris.
This is my first chance to look at Mike Norris, and so far I'm kind of impressed. Right now he takes a big chop from Norvell Austin. Norvell with the body slam on Mike Norris, 220-pounder from Pensacola. But the tide has turned all of a sudden here. Norvell Austin found one move, and it's all Norvell Austin now. There's the elbow to the back of the neck as Austin, with Jimmy Golden in his corner. There's a flying drop kick. Sends down Mike Norris. And right now it's all Norvell Austin. With the backbreaker, following a vicious series of moves with that flying drop kick. Norvell beginning to really work on Norris. Norris coming back. But
the Junkyard Dog puts that knee in there and keeps control of this situation. Taking his man across off. Double thrust into the throat area from a dive. Norvell with that headbutt. Takes his man down. It's over with. And he's back strong here in the Southeastern wrestling area. The Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin, your winner. And there you see, accompanied by Jimmy Golden, and Golden still obsessed with this "we're going to get you Ron Fuller" attitude. And the bounty situation continues. We've seen a lot of action thus far on Southeastern Wrestling. Our television main event will be Ken Lucas against Ron Bass. Right now, coming out to join me, 6'9", 265-pound Ron Fuller. And Ron, just mentioned a moment ago, this bounty situation continues with Jimmy Golden, and he's bringing in people from all over the country.
Well, that's right, Charlie, but it's, you know, I want to thank you, Jimmy Golden, for this bounty thing. You know, it's beginning to make a good wrestler out of me again. I'm out here in some nice new threads, compliments of your money here a couple of weeks ago, and I'm beating people, Charlie Platt, from all over the country. You're bringing them in from everywhere, Golden, and I'm beating them and shipping them right out. And you got a film here of a bounty hunter. It's supposed to be famous from all over the country for collecting bounties. Well, I'm going to show you what I do to bounty hunters right here. Here's a bounty hunter of yours, Jimmy Golden. That's in the inside toe hole right there, and the boy right now is screaming, "Jimmy Golden, what did you get me down here for? You got me in the wrong place at the wrong time." And you're going to see here, Charlie, I already got the win, but I decided I might as well go ahead and take this guy's mask off of him, too. And this ain't the only time this happened to this boy. He got humiliated several different occasions, and I'm sure we won't be seeing any more of this guy in this particular part of the country. There he is right there. You're going to see here Golden come in to take a little shot, but he decided that discretion's a little better the part of valor. And there he is again, the Junkyard Dog, the headbutt king right there, sneaking in behind somebody just like last week on television, thinking he's going to get the job done. Well, I tell you what, they ain't none of them going to be able to get the job done. Right here, and all right, that's Jimmy Golden for you. Always in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's enough. I don't want to see any more of that. That's enough. You didn't get the job done, needless to say, Austin. And I got a little surprise for you, Norvell. Also for you, Golden, all your bounty hunters. I got me something here. You know, back home in Tennessee, this is what you call, boys, a stretcher. And back home in Tennessee, where I come from, when you're having a lot of trouble, you end up getting down to this type of match. When you're bringing all these people in here to get rid of me, Jimmy Golden, I'm going to show you right here, son, on what everybody you bringing in from now on is going out on. I intend to put them on stretchers and send them right on out of the Southeast, because when you talk in Southeast, you talking stud country, son. You bring them on. I'm ready.
Coverage of the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, our television main event upcoming. Stay with us.
Have you seen the Cola ads?
This Monday night in Birmingham, however, an all-star card returns on Monday night, July 13th to Balfour Auditorium at 8:30. You'll see a $15,000 bounty match as Ron Fuller takes on the Assassin managed by Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern tag titles at stake as Condrey and Rose defend against Bob Armstrong and his special partner Tommy Wildfire Rich. Bull rope match, Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas, plus other exciting matches, including the Southeastern title match. Mr. Olympia, the new champion, defending against Jimmy Golden, and Ray Candy defends the Alabama State Heavyweight Championship against Norvell Austin. Let's hear the comments of Golden and Austin.
You know something, Norvell? Don't neither one of them punks over there know how to wear a championship belt. They don't know how to go sporting around showing it off. They don't deserve to be no champions. They don't know how. They don't know nothing about wrestling. And Jury Stubbs, oh, you Halloween punk, you. I'm going to take up where Saito left off. I'm going to take that Halloween mask off you and show everybody your bald head, and I'm going to stomp your butt real good and wear that title out, and my man Dog's going to do the same thing to Ray Candy. He thinks he got a hard head, Norvell.
I got the hardest head in the business. Going to walk and talk, going to leave out a champion, just like you said, Daddy.
Ray?
Well, I want to say one thing for Norvell. I don't know why he would stoop so low as to get a man like Jimmy Golden on his side, but evidently he has, so his only thing that I can do is go in and defend this belt against him. Well, let me say one thing for you, Norvell. It's going to take Jimmy Golden and a whole army. For a long time, I wanted this belt, and I worked hard. I got something you want, and you're going to have to take it.
Mr. Olympia, the Southeastern title on the line against Jimmy Golden.
Well, all I can say is he's going to do everything he said he was. He better get there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's going to take him to about 12 o'clock that night to even get started, because I'm keeping this belt.
It all takes place when wrestling returns to Birmingham on Monday night, July 13th, Baffle Auditorium at 8:30.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special TV challenge match. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 223 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada, Ken Lucas. Ken Lucas.
I'm glad to see you come out here, Lucas.
At 280 pounds from Tampa, Texas, Ron Bass. Ron Bass.
Special TV challenge, main event. Ron Bass coming out at the opening of today's program, challenging Ken Lucas. The challenge picked up, and the match is in the ring. Collar and elbow in the center. It's Lucas and Ron Bass over the turnbuckle. Hard punch by Lucas. And a book could be written about the problems that these two men have had in competition. Good arm drag takedown by Ken Lucas. Over on the ropes. Bass goes after ducking with Lucas now. Lucas with the takedown and putting that knee right in the shoulder. Arm twist by Ken Lucas. And a hard right connection. Lucas, more than accepting this challenge, I would say, Al, he is fired up.
No doubt about it, Charlie. He has come out here and taken charge. Solid right to the forehead of Ron Bass. Ron Bass going to call timeout and think about this for just a second. What has he gotten himself into, he's thinking right about now. He keeps complaining about the use of the fist by Ken Lucas. Ken Lucas accepting the challenge earlier in our program with the hammerlock. Bass into the ropes. Lucas with a clean break. This is the TV time limit. Ron Bass with the side headlock. Lucas breaks out of it. Use of the hair by Bass, a headlock, and then a thumb to the throat, it looked like, from Ron Bass on Ken Lucas, and Lucas is stunned. Bass again with a chop of some sort to the throat. Moves in again. There's a side headlock. Again, you can see the thumb that time square into the Adam's apple of Ken Lucas. That's 3 straight that Lucas has taken. A solid punch to the midsection of Ken Lucas. Lucas is hurt. Bass with Lucas off the rope with another vicious right to the midsection of Ken Lucas. Bass on top of the count of 1. The count of 2, and Lucas kicks out.
Lucas powering out on the 2 count. Now Bass clamps that hand right in the midsection. And Lucas has a handful of hair. Bass working on that midsection with that claw. And a hard right by Ken Lucas. Bass coming back. Series of vicious punches to the midsection, and again Bass unloading on Ken Lucas. Takes his man into the turnbuckle.
Charlie, Lucas looks like he's about out of it. He is really stunned as Bass seems to be taking charge about now. There's the body slam on Ken Lucas. Bass steps outside the ring and heads up for the top. Well, Lucas is over there. Takes him off and slams him to the mat. Lucas, there's that vicious. Lucas is right to the forehead. Another one, and they start to pop on his forehead. Ken Lucas has unleashed himself. There's the sleeper. Lucas coming right back, going after Ron Bass. Bass throwing the official into Lucas and adjusting that glove, that brace on his hand now. Unleashes a hard right on Ken Lucas. And again, Lucas busted right above the eye by that claw. Lucas busted. Now the referee trying to restrain Bass. Bass throwing him in the turnbuckle. Lucas firing back. Lucas, good connections and a right to the head. So Lucas had 2 men to take care of that. Barry Cummings coming in very quickly, but Lucas took care of him. All right, Mike Norris coming out now to try to help Lucas. Ron Bass has him up for the slam. Ooh, a power slam. That has Mike Norris done, but Lucas goes back to Ron Bass. All blooded up. He begins to work on Bass. Bass continues to work on Lucas. They're just trading punches. Here comes Mr. Olympia. This is out of control. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this. We'll be back.
Hello. Another all-star card of Southeastern Championship Wrestling returning to Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday night, July 13th. A special $15,000 bounty match. Ron Fuller takes on the Assassin, managed by Jimmy Golden. Southeastern title, Mr. Olympia takes on Jimmy Golden. Southeastern tag title match. Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose go against Bob Armstrong and Wildfire Tommy Rich. In a special bull rope match, Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas. Alabama title, Ray Candy goes against Norvell Austin, plus a special event, Tommy Wright takes on Mr. Junior America. That's wrestling returning to Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday, July 13th, 8:30 p.m.
And what a night will be Monday, July 13th, when wrestling returns to Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, the $15,000 bounty match. Ron Fuller in action against the Assassin, managed by Jimmy Golden. Also a special bull rope match as Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas. Let's hear the comments of Jimmy Golden and Ron Bass.
Ken Lucas, all the threats are over with, son. All the training, all the conditioning now won't do you any good whatsoever, Ken Lucas. Now the name has been signed, and you are going to have to face me in a bull rope, Ken Lucas, right here in Boutwell Auditorium. And when they ring that bell and they say, okay, Bass, it's time to do whatever you want to do, well, Ken Lucas, I'm going to take a long time and I'm going to enjoy it, because I'm going to put you down and I'm going to hurt you, my friend, and then I'm going to drag you around just like so much dead meat around that ring, my friend, and I'm going to be the true king. Right on, Brother Bass. And you know something, Mr. Fuller, it's going to be your day. One way or the other, son, I'm going to chop you down. I got a bounty hunter, Daddy. He is called world-famous Assassin. You know why they call him Assassin? Because he likes to hurt people, annihilate and eliminate jerk punks like you, Daddy. And I got $15,000 to persuade him with, and don't think he ain't coming ready for you in Birmingham, big boy.
Ken?
You know, Ron Bass has done a lot of these bull rope matches. I haven't did that many, but I'm going to tell you one thing for sure, Ron. I know what's in the middle of that rope, and it's called a bell, and that bell can do some permanent damage, man. And when I start working on your big head, brother, I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. I'm not going to quit until I've got you beat down, and you won't soon forget it either.
Ron, it's the Assassin and a $15,000 bounty.
Well, that's right, Charlie, and I'd like to compliment Golden, you know. I think you're doing a real good job, Golden. You got yourself a good man this time. He's been around. He's got a tremendous reputation. He weighs about 300 pounds. But the people in Boutwell haven't forgot what happened to your bounty hunter. I beat his butt and took his mask off, too. And come Monday night, the 13th, an unlucky day for you and your assassin, I'm going to whip your assassin's big rear end, and I'm going to take his mask off, too. And I may take your mask off, Jimmy Golden.
Monday night, July 13th, in Boutwell Auditorium.
seen a lot of action in the past hour today on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. We've seen the situation with Brad Armstrong, heard the report from Bob. He is in the hospital, and hopefully we'll be hearing a better report on Brad next week right here on Southeastern Wrestling. Join us next week. You'll be seeing the Assassin in action on television, plus many other of your favorite wrestlers here in the Southeastern area. Thank you, Neil Riddle and Earl Tyson on camera, and our director, Wayne Register. We'll see you next week.